back to On the PL. I'm Carolina.
I'm Kenya.
And today we're here with Jessie Reyez.
Today we want to get to know you a little bit more. We know that you have a couple of projects that are coming up. You have a new album that's about to drop. But then we also know that you were born in Canada. But then your family is the Colombia. So how was that experience growing up over there as a Colombiana?
I feel like this is such a shared experience with so many kids that are anything I'm gonna say, I don't think there's anything new that you haven't already heard a kid say. Be like, yo, it's like you live in two countries at once, and you're in one country when you're home, and you only speak Spanish at home, and it's different cultures, different customs, different rules. You can't speak to parents a type of way. You're gonna get your ass beat if you there's boyfriend que como así que sleepover donde aquí tiene cama. So all those things were very much my lived experience, but the older I get and the more I hear people speak of this, I'm like, oh, this is very much a shared experience. So it was that. I think one of the things that makes it unique to me is the fact that it was in Toronto, because in Canada and Toronto you're very much encouraged to wave both flags. So yeah, that's something I noticed was different, because when I moved to the States I feel a little bit more nationalism, a little bit more patriotism, so it's a little different as opposed to there that's a melting pot, but it's a melting pot with the volume on 10.
Was there anything specific when you were growing up that you were like, oh, like I'm in Canada, but my household is definitely the Colombia?
Yeah, getting my ass beat.
I mean, honestly, yeah.
What else? Food. Not having, I don't know if you ever got snacks sent to school, but I never. My mom was like, usted come en la casa. Y cuando tiene hambre, come en la casa. And then when I was like, yeah, but these kids got fucking Dunkaroos and they got roll-ups. My mom was like, roll-ups? ¿Qué? You want zanahoria? And she'd pack me some zanahoria. And that was it.
Do you have any values that you learned from your family that you carry on in your career?
Absolutely. Saying si Dios quiere after every plan is something that I've taken, and it's been such a gift because it really humbles you in the moment to know that whatever plans you have, it's gonna go down if God and the world and destiny wants it to go down. And often you have to just be at the mercy of what's gonna come, and it serves you better to be that way, because the more you resist, the more that you're gonna create more suffering, for yourself, for others, for whatever. Resistance is just gonna create that. So having that at the forefront of almost every day, I say that for some sort of exchange. ¿Qué van a hacer mañana? ¿Qué van a hacer más tarde? ¿Para dónde va? Voy para aquí si Dios quiere. Voy a encontrar con tal si Dios quiere. It's always there. I love that spirituality is always at the forefront of how I communicate with people, and I love that it's at the forefront of how I live my life. And I think that that's one of the values that I got from being hija de una colombiana.
Yeah, That's really beautiful. I also notice that we say that for everything, and that means even if we're going out. So mira, sí, voy para la barra si Dios quiere. And it's beautiful, because it's oh yeah, but I'm going to church si Dios quiere. So it can be used in so many ways,
every aspect.
But it's really cool, because your growing up meant I feel like that means your religious experience and God and everybody accepts you for who you are. So everywhere you go, it's just if God
it's meant to be. If it's meant to be,
it's meant to be.
Yeah.
Do we want to move over to some quick fire questions?
Sure.
Okay, favorite Colombian food?
Empanadas, but my mom's empanadas. Y el ají piqué de mi papá.
Oh, okay. I don't know what either of those two.
I
know empanadas.
Yeah, well, for anyone who doesn't, I always say, anytime someone's like, what is that? I'm like, it's like a deep fried Jamaican patty that's thinner and it's more steak than ground beef. That's the easiest way, to explain it. For Colombian empanadas, at least.
Yeah.
And then ají pique is just hot sauce, but bougie hot sauce, chunks of cilantro and chunks of tomato and chunks of onion, and it's just fucking good.
Okay, well now I need to try that. Spanish or English music when you're on the road?
What do you mean on the road?
When you're listening, when you're driving?
When I'm driving?
Yeah.
Spanish,
okay.
Cumbia.
And cumbias, nice. Oh. Do you ever in the car dancing a little?
Yeah, I'm sure. I've thought that before. I'm like, I wonder if there's ever gonna be a video of someone being like, look at this bitch fucking.
Last but not least, one word to describe your childhood.
Honesta. The first thing that I know, you have a word in your head.
Wow, what a fucking question.
This was Alex. I'm blaming you.
Incubator. Waiting? No, hold on. I can do this better. Hold on. Cocoon.
cocoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because now you're a butterfly. Yeah. That's how I'm gonna see it.
That kind of reminds me of Hannah Montana.
Me?
Butterfly. So now we're gonna move on to the FIFA World Cup section of it all. Overall, before we get into the questions that we have written over here, how do you feel being a part of all of this?
I feel cool. I feel happy. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm happy. I'm nervous because we're performing on the same day that my album drops, so that's a little.
That's big.
Oh yeah, June.
Yeah.
Oh my
June
god.
12th. I know it's everything. No, that's not even. So performing the day my album drops. It's also in my hometown. So
on
it's
your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Girl, but I see that as a blessing.
That's
It's blessing on blessing on blessing.
Yeah.
It's everything is really aligned. And also, it's good to be nervous. That means you care.
Yeah.
And that's really good to know that, I know that artists care, but to know it because you're saying it, it's okay, there's going to be a lot of, passion behind what you're going to be doing that day.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So, did FIFA reach out to you and you got to pick the feature, or how did that all go about?
So, Circuit, who's the producer behind the song, reached out to me late last year. And they were like, yo, we'd love to have you on this song. We'd love to have you feature. So then they sent it to me, and then I did my feature in Toronto with my boy Moose, who's my engineer. But you know what's funny is you do so many placements and so many, especially because I'm a writer too. Mm-hmm. So you send a lot out, and things live in the unmanifested all the time. This artist is holding 3 records, this commercial is holding this record, and you just never know till it comes to fruition. So it was nice because I guess I was practicing. Because of that, I practiced detachment with what I do. Mm-hmm. So I make something, and if it's meant to be, si Dios quiere, pasa. Si no, no. And so when it came into fruition, I was like, fuck yeah. It was a nice little it's not I was like this, and it's not I was like this, but I was just like this.
Yeah. Did you see the comparisons that you and Liana were Shakira and Beyonce in Beautiful Liar? Did you see that? I was that's amazing.
Canada and Colombia are playing this year in the FIFA. Mm-hmm. If you have to root for one, yo sé que es complicado, pero es tu pregunta. You can answer though however you want to answer.
Now you giving me a shimmy to try to make try to make it more palatable. Yeah. Listen,
you can be like Canada. Okay, yo escuché. If you
I didn't.
If you did it, that's on you.
Colombia.
Yeah, do you have a favorite soccer player of all time?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Of all time.
It could be of all time in
my
2026.
Dad.
Oh, there you go. That was easy.
My dad, elite. I know people always say, you hear the trope of the guy, I would have gone pro if it wasn't for my ACL or some bullshit. But, my dad was nice.
Yeah.
My dad was so nice. I'll tell you how nice my dad was. My dad was so nice that he used to deke out my first boyfriend who had a scholarship to go play and used to, and all this stuff. And I used to just deke him out. And at that time, my dad was in his, 60s. Mm-hmm. And he was my dad, he's just for people who don't know, I guess it sounds like I'm being nuts, but my dad's genetics are just different. They're just different, and he could do some wild anti-gravity shit. And he used to play, even when I was growing up, he used to play every Sunday still, and go deep motherfuckers and break some ankles, and yeah, my dad.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And when
so do you play?
I used to play when I was a kid, and then one day I was playing at church, we were playing outside or whatever, and I went to go do some anti-gravity kick, and I went up in the air and I fell back on my wrist, and I fractured my wrist, and then I never played again. Star. Yeah.
There you go.
I never played
that
again.
had to happen so you could be Jessie Reyez.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, everything has a reason.
Everything has a reason.
What's the best part about seeing soccer unite people all around the world?
It's like seeing music unite people. It's one of those things that can bypass language, bypass, everything. Where you're from, countries. It's sports akin to music is a universal language. It's not as maybe I've heard some people, this may not, whatever, it's the truth. Some people refer to sports as sanitized war. which is a whole other conversation.
I never heard that.
Have you never heard
either.
that? Yeah, and they say that because humans have this drive to like want to express themselves for fruition, and sometimes that has a lot of aggression, that sports provide an outlet for that in a sanitized way where it's not war. Yeah, because then it's like us versus them, and then temperate, like, you know, all these things rise, and you get to get all this energy out, but in a very sanctioned way. I think is a beautiful thing, and also for what sports introduced to, like, if you ever played sports as a kid, you understand what it means to not be scared to get a little physical, and not be scared of falling down and getting the fuck back up. As much as I joke of like fractured my wrist and never played again, I played again, but I just wasn't good. But the also the gift of like what discipline is, understanding discipline, and that's your first introduction to it, I think is really beautiful. And also seeing what small investments in practice can make. The first time you see that as a human being and you really let it like simmer, I think is so great to understand how you build things in this life, because rarely are people born great. It takes practice.
Yes.
Every now and then there's someone that comes out and they just were fully cooked in the womb, and you were given this. But those are few and far in between. Often it's the people that were like, no, I've been in the fucking gym, no, I've been on practice, no, I've been on the field, no, I've been in the studio. So that mentality, I feel like an athlete in what I do, and I feel very seen in sports regarding discipline and regarding unity, because then you also see someone else that's hustled and sweat, and you have a sense of respect that you might not have for someone else that hasn't given that of themselves.
Okay, so moving on to soccer superlatives. This is a challenge.
Okay.
Best soccer celebration that you might think of.
I love the, like, oh my god, did you guys see that guy's butt cheeks when he did the slide? Did you see that? Yo, his booty was nice.
I was our producer is having a blast over there.
Who was that? What team was that? He like went to go slide,
and the guy kind of took off his pants, and he was just like,
yeah, and it was just bare butt cheeks in field.
Oh, I have not seen
I've
that.
had dreams about that. No, just kidding. I'm kidding.
Poor guy, he looked, you know what was sad? I felt bad when, like, pobrecito, he slid and then, like, ass out and then, like, flipped over and was, like looking up. And it's a full stadium, and you could tell that he's taken, like, a good, like, 12 seconds to be like, did this just fuck... Like, his ass is still out. He's fully pensive. And he's, like... You could tell he's like, that's just fucking happened to me. Like, this really just happened to me. And he hasn't lifted his pants up yet. And then, obviously, it went viral. But in the silver lining is that he had a nice ass. At least, because it could have been a bad ass. Yeah. It could have been, like, you know, just a bad one. But it wasn't a bad one.
It was a nice one. I have to see that. So after this, the
best ass that's in the
field.
Yeah. So that's my favorite celebration, was the slide and then the accidental ass flash.
Accidental. That's merch. Accidental ass flash. And then it says, what can people expect about this new project? What do you want the world to know?
With a title like A Little Vengeance, I could assume why people would I could see why people would assume that there'll be a lot of toxicity, which there may or may not be. But the title actually got inspired. I was reading this book by Friedrich Nietzsche, and there's a line in there that says, "A little vengeance is more human than no vengeance at all." And I really loved it, and I loved it twofold, because A, it gives your human grace, because we're not perfect. And also, I loved it because the more I marinated on that sentence, the more I was like, it's funny because vengeance has this negative connotation. Some people think that the definition is locked into something that needs to be like maliciously reciprocal, or not malicious retaliation.
Yeah.
And somewhere else in the book, it talks about how some people overextend themselves too much. And when you do that, you're doing a disservice to yourself. And so when you pull back and you start worrying about yourself more, other people view that quality as something selfish, as something bad. But to you, it could also be viewed as, no, I'm taking vengeance on people taking advantage of me being too outgoing, and I'm going to service myself. That's health. Then it looks like vengeance to other people. But I love the idea that it could be something beautiful. It doesn't have to be something that I'm doing maliciously back to someone, but it could be, a little vengeance can be, I'm letting you have a front row seat while I continue in my pursuit of peace.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that you said the front row seat too, because you're thinking about yourself front forward, but also it's like this is your time to think about whatever it is that's going on.
Deal with it. Yeah, how you feel about how I'm moving isn't my business. So like, if this hurts you, then this is a little vengeance on you.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a spectrum. There's some angry songs, some sad songs. There's like 1 or 2 happy songs. But it's it's a little vengeance and letting shit out and letting people have a front row seat.
I feel that.
I love speaking to artists because everyone is so different and it just like works so beautifully because your stuff is amazing and you can tell that you're meant for this. I don't know, like hearing you speak about this and your creative process, and also if you ever were to speak for an audiobook, I would listen to it because your voice is so soothing.
Okay, what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you on stage?
When I was a bartender in Florida at Gloria Estefan's bar Bongos. Wow, you just told me to keep it tight. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
You said the best
that sounds amazing.
We had to do a show because I was a dancing bartender, and I went to go do a fucking spin, and when I spun, my chicken cutlet flew the fuck out. And that shit hit the floor. And I just had to keep going.
The show doesn't stop for the chicken.
Yeah.
What song you wish you had written?
Demi Lovato's Stone Cold.
Oy! Love Demi, love Stone Cold. Have you ever sent a text to the wrong person?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Hell.
Awful. I know.
Oh.
What's a hidden talent people don't know about that you have?
I can show you if you have water.
Please. Water?
Yeah. This is what I do, but I'm not going to do it to you. Okay. What I do is I'll be like, yo, I can shoot water straight out of my teeth. And people will be like, ready? And I'm like, yeah, look at that point over there. And then I'll go next to them. And I'll go like this. Did I just get you? I'm so sorry. I legit ate it.
Was an honor.
I did not see that coming. Oh my god.
How did you
I don't know. I don't remember how I learned that I could do that.
I just saw it go this way. I was like, oh my god, SeaWorld. Oh my god. SeaWorld. That was so fun. See, we have to be like this war, people. Jessie's a prime example. Like, be real. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks. We were very, very excited to have you here, and we're going to be tuning into that album coming out on June 12th.
Amen.
June 12th. And it's going to be amazing. It was all meant to be, and we're going to be listening to it. And to take us off, do you have anything you want to say to your fans?
Thank you. I want to make sure that you're worried about yourself too. So like, thank you for supporting me, but don't like focus on you, cause I know there's how do I say this? Cause I don't want to say it as in I'm like don't support me, but I don't mean don't support me, but I mean like support me to the degree that it's healthy enough for you. Don't let it be all encompassing. Make sure your soul's intact. Like, you know. Make sure your soul's intact, cause if you don't, nobody's gonna do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
watching.
watching.
Bye. A vibe. Hasta luego.